Yeah, so now that we've got our building, we can start to annotate this in terms of adding some detail, some information onto our model. So we've got the plans, we've got the external envelope, that kind of thing. So what we need to do is start to add some labels in to identify the different rooms. So to do that, we're going to add some room tags. So in order to do that, if you go to architecture, room and area, click on room, and then if you hover over any room, you'll see a blue outline comes. Okay, and then once that blue outline comes, that's finding all the room edges essentially. If you just place those room tags in. Okay, again, I'll do one here as well, and then actually I'm gonna undo that one I just did there for another reason. Okay, so I've got those two rooms. In order to edit the name of them, if you click once, click you click the tag once, it will go red on the edge, and then click the actual title again. This way you don't double click, so take it in two steps. Click it once, and then click it again. This is my kitchen. Slash dining. And then my living room. Okay, so you just again escape to get out of it. You can rename these as you wish. Okay, it's got the floor area. Again, you can change that as well. If you select it once, you can change how you want to view it. So you can just view it by name only if you want. So you can get rid of the other information if you want by just clicking it and selecting what type of tag it is that you want. Again, this is all editable in the when you get into Revit. Another thing you can do is obviously if you've got a big open plan space like here, I just want the hallway to be defined because before what it was doing is it was trying to find it was defining this whole area as the hallway. So I don't want that. So if I click on that, if I click on that again and click delete, get rid of that. So just say a room was deleted, which is fine. I knew what that was happening. I'm going to add a room separator in. So I'll click a room separator, and I'm going to create a room separator. So it's a hidden line essentially where you want a space to be defined as a room. So I'll click that there to there. That's obviously a closed off that space now. And now if that has worked, if you go to room, if you hover over that, now that's highlighted there. So it means, yeah, it's picked that up. So I can now click there, and that has now identified this space as a room, which is now going to be my hallway. Again, there's a bit too much information there, so I'll just leave it as that. You can move the tags around. Again, this little symbol there lets you drag it where you want it. So you can move that around wherever you want to place it. It automatically places it in the center of the room. So yeah, so you can do that on multiple levels. So I'm just going to work on the ground floor just now, but you can do that on the first floor as well. So you go through the first floor and then tag all the rooms as you need them. The other thing I'm going to show you is how you color your plans. So in plans, you can add a bit more detail by adding colors to individual rooms, so you can locate rooms, or it's just another visual thing that people some designers like to kind of show their plans using color. Some obviously when you do commercial buildings, it's more important because zones are defined by colors on a plan, and functions of a room are defined by a color as well. So essentially this coloring method is quite useful in commercial buildings, but we'll do it here as well to show you how it works. So here, once you've tagged it, what we can do is add color onto those tags. So if you go, don't click anything, just make sure you're not in any tools. If you go to the properties panel and click on color scheme, it says none, but if you click on that none, under category, if you click on rooms, because that's what we're trying to tag is color, sorry, we're trying to color the rooms, and then we're going to color them by name because we've named them individual things. You can color them by room number. Again, in commercial buildings, it can be you can number rooms similarly so that they all have a similar color, or by department as well. So you can actually create zones and color them by zones using department. But we're going to color them by name because all our rooms should be named. So once you do all this, you'll have all the rooms named. It will automatically assign a color to it. So again, you can change the colors if you want. If you add rooms to it, it will add them as well, and you can take the ones off by unticking them if you want. But yeah, it automatically colors them all up. You can say rooms, apply, and OK. So that will now apply a color to every room. So every room with a different name will have a different color. So if I was to make this hallway, for example, enter, that, because those names are exactly the same, it will color them exactly the same way. Okay, so that's where in commercial buildings this tool of coloring plans in is very, can be quite advanced and quite useful in many instances. So I'll put that back to my living room. Okay, and that's how you color up plans. But to color up plans, you have to do all the plans separately. So you've got to do the same exact process here. Go to scheme color and plan, and then color that plan separately. So so be aware that if you do one level, you've got to do the other levels as well separately. It doesn't apply itself throughout the whole over the whole model. Okay. The next thing I'm going to show you is how you add some dimensions in. So dimensions are obviously quite important to kind of communicate the size of things to people and customers and clients. So here we can add dimensions in to kind of give them the actual dimensions of different spaces, obviously in construction to build it as well. So if you go to annotate on the top, architecture, and then annotate, aligned. We'll cover the other ones in other tutorials, but we'll go to align one just now. So aligned dimension. Now, straight away, it will start to pick up on it'll start to align itself to the center points of the walls. Yeah. But we want dimensions from internal to internal because that's what people are realistically want to find out, is how big is that internal room on plan once built. So in order to change that, you can go up here on the green bar and change that to wall surfaces, and now automatically it will find that edge. Okay, it will find that edge and highlight it as blue. Okay, so that's one quick shortcut in terms of find that. You can leave it on there. If you hover over something, click tab, it'll find it as well. So tab on your keyboard will find it as well. So even if you don't change that, if you hover over that and then click the tab button on your keyboard, it will find it as well. But to just make it quicker and easier, you can just click wall faces, so it automatically finds wall faces. Now, in order to add a dimension, if you click that initially, it will start to drag out a dimension line, and then it'll find the other wall you want to take a dimension to. Click it, and then drag the dimension up, or leave it. You can leave it in the plan if you want. I usually put mine out the plan just to keep it clean, and then click escape. So again, align dimension. Click the wall here, and then click the wall here, then drag that out, and then click outside. Okay, again here. So I'll just do a couple more to show you. Now again, you can do your windows as well if you want. So you can click on here to the window edge, and then there to that window edge there. This edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, and then you can move them as well. So you can click on them and then drag them up if you want. So if it's kind of a bit tight there, so you might want to drag that one up. And that's how you add some dimensions. So it's quite a simple process. Adds a lot more detail onto your plan. Obviously, it starts to look like a plan now that you can take to someone and make them understand what's happening. Okay, and maybe your overall dimensions as well. So overall building dimensions, external or internal, if you want. And then here to here. Okay, and then add one last one here to here to finish it off. Okay, so I've done that ground. Obviously, you can do your first floor as well, but that's how you add dimensions. As you can see, it starts to add a lot more detail into that plan for displaying for later on for printing.